You'll learn the externals of a changed life. You'll play those externals in this environment or in your group or anytime you're in a Christian setting, and you can only take so much of that, and then you'll go into your other environment and be a different person. You'll pretend. God, and this is why it's so important. Can you see it? Why you have to have family-like relationships in the church? That's why we're very simple. We do Sunday mornings. We have these big prayer gatherings quarterly, and we do community group. Because you need lots and lots of time to build relationships. Because relationships take lots and lots and lots of time. They're not very efficient, not very practical. But you need them. Because what happens is we go one of two ways. One is we go super insecure and be like, oh yeah, you're right, I'm terrible, I'm such a loser, I can never get it right. Or you get kind of prideful and you want to, I'm surprised you can notice that speck in my eye, that big log coming out of your head. So we will try to discredit them. But you're not a loser, and you're not above reproach, but you are saved by the grace and mercy of Jesus. And we're not there yet. And we won't be there until the other side of heaven. But on this side, we have an advocate that when we sin, he is faithful and just to purify us from all unrighteousness. And I'm not building my life on my performance. I'm building my life upon the performance of Jesus. And so when you see me build my life upon my own performance, you come and talk to me. I want you to do that in my life. So 3 options when you wander. One is you just slip out the back door because you have a high need to be affirmed. One of the things I know about every human being, you have a high need to be affirmed. And when you're living contrary to what the group is living for, that's a hard place to be. So you'll slip out the back door because the way that you really are isn't going to be affirmed. But we want to be a place where it's okay not to be okay. Say, hey, I'm struggling here. Because what we want to affirm you in isn't that you're an amazing person or a bad person, but the fact that you are saved and added into by the grace and mercy of Jesus. So one, you'll slip out the back door. Or the second thing, which I don't know which one's worse, is you'll pretend. You'll put on a mask. In fact, that word means hypocrisy. Is a theater word that means to put on the mask. And so you'll learn the externals of a changed life. You'll play those externals in this environment or in your group or anytime you're in a Christian setting, and you can only take so much of that, and then you'll go into your other environment and be a different person. You'll pretend. But the third option, which is the biblical option, is you'll do this. You'll deputize 2 or 3 people in your life to say, when you see me stray, come chase me. When you see me stray, not if you see me stray, but when you see me stray, come chase me. I don't know if you remember 11th grade English, but in the book, The Odyssey, Odysseus, the captain of the ship, there's this island, the island of Sirens, that had these beautiful women that sung amazing. And the problem is that this island, though, is surrounded by rocks. And so every time these women would sing, Odysseus would want to drive to the island, but there's rocks. So if he did that, he would destroy the boat and destroy his life. And so what he did is he got his shipmates to tie him to the mast. Say, hey, when I go by there, don't let me out of here. Just keep going, chart this course, blindfold me, whatever. But they go by the island, and he's just like, I'm kidding, let me out of here. I want to go to the island. And they didn't let him go, and they passed the island, and they were saved. And the application for you and I is that unless you have someone that you're willing to let them tie you to the mast, you will run your life into the rocks. And you need someone that you have deputized to say, will you help me? You're going to be ensnared. The enemy is walking around seeking to devour. The world system is not a great environment for spiritual vitality. Your flesh doesn't, you're outnumbered. You need help. 3 options when you see someone wander. One is, here's something maybe you haven't thought of. You could carry disdain in your heart for them. I'm glad I'm not them. I'm maybe even in this message, like, well, yeah, I've got people in my life that do this for me. Glad I'm not like that person. You don't go to them, but if you don't go to them, instead of having love for them, you'll actually have disdain for them, and you'll be prideful. The second thing that can happen is you can join in with them. That because you don't confront the sin, your brain wants to affirm what your heart wants. And your brain will just talk yourself into joining in with them. But then the third thing is that you, out with love, gentleness, and all kinds of humility, you go to seek to restore them. To restore them. That word restore, too, but in the Greek means like resetting a bone. Like the bone is broken, you want to reset it. You want to restore it. You want to bring it back. And we need this so much. You probably heard this verse, or maybe not even the verse, just the words, speaking the truth in love. It comes from a passage in Ephesians 4 that, again, talks about a responsibility to each other. That God gives gifts to the church in the, like pastor types that equip and help the church know their responsibility. And then it says this. It says, to prevent you from being tossed to and fro from every wind of doctrine, from every scheme. Like there's things that come at you. You have enemies of spiritual life to keep you moving forward in the right path. The answer to that is a community of people who are speaking truth and love to one another. The antidote to bad doctrine is great relationships centered around the gospel. That love you, that speak truth in love. It can't be true if it's not loving, and it can't be loving without truth. You need those things to come together. And Jesus was the full embodiment. So a spirit-filled community, a community that's filled with the Spirit of Jesus, is going to bring love and truth into your life. And you need this so, so badly.